Je begon aan mijn best life, yeah. Je begon aan mijn best life, yeah. Something you and me, oh. Je begon aan mijn best life, yeah. Jumping, flexing, girl. I just want you. Something you and me, oh. You both what's on my best life, yeah. You both what's on my best life, yeah. You both what's on my best life, yeah. Something you and me, oh. You both what's on my best life, yeah. Jumping, flexing, oh no. I just want you to know. Something you and me, oh. You both what's on my best life, yeah. You both what's on my best life, yeah. You both what's on my best life, yeah. Something you and me, oh. You both what's on my best life, yeah. You both what's on my best life, yeah. You both what's on my best life, yeah. Something you and me, oh. You both what's on my best life, yeah.
Oh. Welcome to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, and we're live, of course, on the Kempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter, and we're live behind the scenes on TikTok. If you missed it last night, we were live on TikTok watching Married to Medicine together and talking about the Real Housewives of Potomac. Don't forget, we will be doing our recap of Potomac starting next week, and my weekly collaboration with Grace Report and Layla Lynn will be starting next week, 1 p.m. Eastern on Grace Report's YouTube channel, so be there or be square. I was going to change the time of the Married to Medicine recap, but I said, no, let me keep things the way that they are, because Married to Medicine is not over, but it will be over. I think the season finale airs in a couple of weeks. So you know I've been doing a rewatch, and a first-time watch of Married to Medicine's old seasons, and this show is really, really good. Really, really good. And it gives you a different perspective when you're watching season 9, their current season. And I know we talk all the time, like, would there be someone you don't want on the cast? And yes, we've had some lackluster seasons with Dr. Jackie. This season, I feel like Dr. Simone has checked out a little bit, but it's okay because she's carried so many different seasons. She really has been active. I don't understand Dr. Simone and all that yelling. I'm on the scene, when her and Dr. Scott get into it when they're in Antigua. The way she yells, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like you would never expect, because she has such a peaceful spirit. You would never expect that Dr. Simone would yell the way that she yells. I have to say, though, I think this is my second season watching Dr. Contessa. I can't remember. All the seasons are kind of meshing together. But I have to say, I'm not in love with Dr. Contessa. The only part of Dr. Contessa that stands out to me is the fact that she's a doctor. I think she's probably very, very smart. I love that moment when she saves her daughter's life in the kitchen so nonchalantly. All of us would have been like shaking after trying to save. But she just does it so nonchalantly and then moves on to making breakfast. I was just like, well, look, like that for me is the only moment with Dr. Contessa that has stood with me. But her in season 6 alluding that Toya hit her on purpose. Remember, she had the double mastectomy, so she was very sore. At one point, that whole argument with her and Dr. Simone was about her using that as an excuse not to be a part of the group. But when she blamed Toya for saying that Toya hit her on purpose, that's where she lost me. That's where she lost me. She lost me this episode too. Look, wait, okay. She looked amazing. No one's going to take this away from Dr. Contessa. She looked amazing. I couldn't believe the transformation based on what we saw at the top of the season to what we saw by this competition. But we're all saying this. She only used this competition and this fight with Dr. Heavenly as her storyline. Okay. And I know we're tired of saying storyline, but the producers always ask the ladies, so what exactly is going on in your life right now? And as you know, last season, Dr. Contessa really focused a lot on the troubles that were happening in her marriage. And this season, she wanted to kind of just brush over that completely. But did you guys notice in this episode, this latest episode of Married to Medicine, Dr. Contessa was like, we were able to overcome some of the things that we were going through a year ago. And I was like, did you? Because we as the audience completely missed how you guys were able to get over this, besides blaming everything on Dr. Heavenly. And there's a lot to blame Dr. Heavenly for, but you can't blame her for your marriage and what you gave us last season. And I know we've criticized her that this competition was her storyline for the season. Her beef with Dr. Heavenly was her storyline for the season. And we know there are people in real life that all of a sudden think, you know what, I want to challenge myself. I want to do a fitness competition. But no, I feel as if, Dr. Contessa was like, we need something completely different to talk about. We need to show you, Dr. Scott, in a new light, showing you support me at this competition. I'm not falling for it. Johnny says, we barely even saw Scott. I think that was intentional. I think that was very intentional this season. They wanted to stay away from this story of Dr. Scott possibly being emotionally abusive or whatever it may be. We saw it for ourselves. Nothing that Dr. Heavenly or anyone else in this cast could have said would have changed our mind about what was going on in your relationship. And you calling Carrie evil for her sharing that she overheard an argument with you guys during that last trip said everything that we needed to know, that you want to paint this certain image of your relationship now, because last season you were letting it fly. But look, she's decided to stay in the relationship. Look, your choice. But it's also our choice when watching this on our television screens to be like, this is bull.
Lies! The lie!
This is bull. Guys, I had to just jump right in because I've been watching the old seasons of Married to Medicine, and they're still very good. But I thought maybe I would feel a little bit differently towards Dr. Contessa watching the old seasons with her, and I don't. She's been fake and phony for a very long time. All right. Exactly. I'm seeing what some of you guys say in the chat. Hold on one second. Amy says, Scott supporting his wife like we didn't forget last season. And I think that was all intentional. I think what we're seeing this season is them trying to clear the way, fix what people thought of him last season. I'm just like, no, how about we do it in a real way? Like we've seen Dr. Simone do with Cecil, what we've seen Dr. Jackie do with Curtis. I'm still not necessarily convinced about that relationship, but at least they did the work. Stacy says, I don't blame Dr. Contessa for not wanting to talk about her marriage. I support it. I don't want to see it. And Heavenly made comments she had no business making. Okay, some may say that. But when you put something like this on the show, they all comment on each other's relationships and everything like that. And some people just don't like what Heavenly has to say. But when you put it on television, and trust and believe, us talking about it, fans talking about it on social media helps the show. And those ratings. The ratings are for Married to Medicine, but they should be a lot better because to me, the show was really good. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Let me see what you guys are saying. Natalie says, I would want them in my marriage issues. I wouldn't want them in my marriage issues either, I think you mean. Tay says, Jackie just didn't want to be alone, so she decided to stay. Do you think that's what it is? Catherine says, exactly. We didn't see them do any work. Yeah. My thing is, if you're going to share this story, you're not telling me all of a sudden you decided you filed for divorce and now all of a sudden you decided we're not going to talk about, we just got over it miraculously. That's like Dr. Simone in this book. She's trying to write a book and not talk about what led them to file for divorce. It doesn't make sense. You can't say you're going to write a relationship book. Look, and I am not interested in this relationship book. But I already said this. I'd much rather get a relationship book from one of the Love Match Atlanta people. Ms. Beverly says, Contessa was mad, so she told the real truth last year. It's the don't tell your family everything, because when y'all make up the family, still don't want them at the family gatherings. Very much so. But that's why you don't have those things play out, because now we're all looking at you like, but what happened was... What happened? What happened? All right. Enough of that. We'll start from the beginning, guys. If you're just joining us, we are live on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. We're live backstage on TikTok. If you're not following me on TikTok, you should. We were live last night talking about the Real Housewives of Potomac a little bit, and we watched Married to Medicine together. All right. Sidebar. I already told y'all about Anila and her fashion. All right. Her fashion just does not fashion for me. I mean, her hair and makeup looks good, though. But to be a fashion blogger, I know some of you are dragging her right now for this look, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Anila, for me, is like hit or miss. Although some of you did enjoy her reunion look. And we talked about the reunion look and some tea that we heard about what happened at this reunion in a previous video. So be sure to check that out if you missed it. That was on Friday. We talked about that. All right. J Spot says, we don't want anything from Simone and Cecil but a mixology book. Cocktails with Cecil. That's it. I guess that's their storyline this season, but it's kind of boring. Not kind of boring. It is boring. But I still like Dr. Simone. I do like them being these figures of positivity on the show. They, in this latest episode, both Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie are being the forces of the elders coming in, trying to bring everyone together. But here's the thing. When they pointed out that Toya was having issues with Quad, Anila, and Dr. Heavenly, I was like, well, there's only one common denominator here. There's only one common denominator here. If you're having issues with everybody, shouldn't you start taking a look at yourself? Well, she is trying to. She is trying to. She's got a life coach. And in that moment when when they're in Blue Ridge, she's like, okay, I hear you. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going to try this weekend to, refresh, rejuvenate. Sidebar. Did you guys notice that the Blue Ridge place it's the same place that the ladies from the Real Housewives of Atlanta stayed for those like a day and a half. And now that I'm watching these old seasons, why is every time they go on a group trip, poor Eugene's cooking? He works hard enough, but he loves to cook, though. I know he loves to cook. He really does love to cook. And according to their reactions, he's a very good cook. But I just feel bad for him. Every time they go on a trip, he's the one cooking. That's got to get tired after a while, because he's always cooking at home, too. Anyways, Shatisha, I think I pronounced that correct. She says the common denominator is Heavenly. She is the reason for spreading the drama to and from. Oh, damn. Okay. Quad was definitely activated this episode of Married to Medicine because we've said this before during our recaps. Where is Quad? What's going on with Quad? Quad's not married to Medicine. She's not really bringing anything. But this episode, Quad decided to get activated because at the top of this episode, Quad is having a conversation with Anila. Let me just bring this photo. As soon as Quad enters the scene, Quad is stirring the pot. And one of the things that we forgot to talk about last week, in the moment when the ladies were talking about Anila's break-in, was how Dr. Simone was laughing. We completely brushed over that. But in my mind, I kind of brushed over it because I wasn't sure if it was just a bad edit and they just sort of placed her laughing. But the fact that Quad pointed it out in this episode, I said, oh, we could talk about it then. So did you guys notice that Dr. Simone was laughing when talking about Anila's break-in? So this situation with Married to Medicine has gotten very dark. So there is speculation that Toya said 2 days before this break-in that there's a, quote, hit on Anila. And then Anila has this break-in. And now the ladies of Married to Medicine are speculating that possibly this is an insurance scam. I find it interesting that they're willing to say it on this show, but they weren't willing to say this on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills with Dorito. Here's the thing. We were just talking about this with Bell Collective. These sort of accusations have real life consequences. A detective, a prosecutor, if they hear these kinds of things, they're going to call these people and say, can you come in for some questioning? I don't know if there's any sort of update. I don't know if Anila talked about this on Watch What Happens Live, but I don't think they've caught the people that stole from her. And I literally have left my ring thing in, my chimes in, so if it goes off for the effect of the live situation. Anila, for $1 million, look, my home is not $1 million, okay? However, if I had a multi-million-dollar home, I'm gonna shout out to the people at Ring. They are very good. I've had Ring for years. Before Ring was a thing, I've had Ring. However, if I had a multi-million-dollar home, I'm going to do better than Ring. Right? Right? And I mean, Ring has come a long way. They have like full-fledged security systems. However, I don't know. Ring? And then all those chimes going off multiple... And she was robbed again. I saw that comment. She was robbed a second time. And look, we know you can have all the security in the world. It's not going to prevent someone from robbing you. However, the robberies that we've talked about recently, all these people, all conveniently, their situations weren't activated. Okay? Exactly. And Jay says, Anila, Heavenly, and Quad accused Toya of committing a felony. They have no moral high ground. Okay? Cece says, Annie's questions were shady last night on Watch What Happens Live. They're always shady. They're always shady. But did he ask the serious question? Have they caught the people that weren't involved? Exactly. Shireen says, I love my Ring, but I get what you mean, Kempire. Yeah, Ring is a fantastic device. There's a reason why that guy, remember he was on Shark Tank? There's a reason why he was able to sell that to Amazon. I believe he sold it too. Like, it's a fantastic situation. But if you have $1 million home, I need something a little bit more than Ring. And all those chimes going off throughout that scene, I was like, girl, if you don't get out of here with that mess, $1 million home that was just robbed. And her first thought, let me go to Ring. And Ring has upgraded their stuff. They're not paying us. They're not paying us, but they should. I love a Ring thing. And like I said, I've literally left it on just so it can go off for effect. But I don't have mine on extra sensitive. Every time they moved, those chimes were going off. Okay. But you know what I also have? Shout out to Ring. However, you know what I prefer? I also have Nest. Nest has their own sort of camera, video, doorbell, and security system too. I prefer Nest. I do. I prefer Nest. She went for Ring when there's Nest. And I feel like Nest, look, what are we talking about right now? I prefer it. So if I was going to do it and I had $1 million home and those were my only two options, I would have went with Nest. Sorry. I would have went with Nest. But I know. Ring has come a long way. It's not just that little doorbell. There's a whole security situation. All right. Let me take a sip from my coldest water bottle. Shameless plug. Coldest just launched shakers. You know, for like your like protein shakes and things like that. Get your coldest water bottle if you haven't already. Shout out to those of you that have been getting your things this week. Head on over to coldest.com, but don't forget to use the discount code KEMP10 for 10% off of your order. They are proud sponsors here at the channel. Hashtag ad for the love of Kim Kardashian. Yes, if you've seen my story on Kim Kardashian, there's a lot more to the story other than putting hashtag ad. Be sure to check out that story and check out the recent story that I did on Kanye West and his White Lives Matter fashions and the recent photo with Candace Owens wearing the same look. Go check out that story if you missed it. All right. Cherie, thank you for watching on Facebook. Cherie says, all I know is that you are making me laugh, Kempire. I'm glad. Hey, Drama. Drama says, at least she doesn't have Teddy's husband's security, expensive security, and still being robbed. Here's the thing. In all fairness, I feel bad for Teddy's husband because he gets such a bad rap. Is his security system bad? Because the way that this is playing out for him on social media, they're always referencing his security system. All right, let me focus. Let me get back to. I'm not even looking at my notes. Let me get back to. So this episode is called Back to Blue Ridge. All right, we've seen Blue Ridge before. Where this is all playing out is at the same exact place where they had this recent episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. All right, so Quad and Anila are talking about this whole situation. All right, we went on a whole tangent about Ring versus Nest. Okay, so they're having this conversation about it, and Quad brings up what the ladies were saying and in questioning that this might have been a setup. That Dr. Kieran and Anila might have set this up. Here's the thing. Did anyone notice Anila's reaction just seemed a little too calm? And I don't think that Anila did this for the insurance. I just felt like her reaction just felt a little... Like, if someone accused me of setting something... Like, my reaction probably would have been a little bit more dramatic. But that's just me. Maybe that's my Leo moon. I don't know. I was just like, that's a little calm. Anyways. So they talk about that. They talk about Dr. Simone laughing. They talk about Contessa asking a lot of different questions. Okay? So the group is speculating that possibly they did this for the insurance. And then I think it was Miss Beverly that called in. Was it Miss Beverly? I don't want to blame Miss Beverly if it wasn't her. But one of you called in last week. And no, it was Miss Beverly. I can remember. And said that, well, you remember Dr. Kieran talked about on this show that business was rough during the pandemic. He lost a lot of money. So that made me start thinking things. Maybe. I don't know. I just feel like the speculation between the insurance fraud of it all and then saying that maybe possibly Toya had something to do with it. I'm just like, this too much. This too much. Hold on. Look, wait, hold on. Where's my phone? Hold on. We gotta, hey Google, turn off Kempire Studio. Hold on. Where were you on the night of whatever night it was? This is what needs to happen. Hey Google, turn on Kempire Studio. What do you think happened? I don't know. But this speculation, of course, this is all going to play out. This is all going to play out during the reunion. All right? Where were you on the night of this robbery? All of them are going to be questioned. All right, let me focus. Let me focus on the episode at hand, all right? So Quad and Anila had this conversation, but Quad was activated. Quad was the bone collector this week. She was the bone collector. She was starting to stir the pot. And then a lot of you were speculating she has not seen it for Toya for a very long time. And I'm sure this is all they're going to get into it. At this reunion. All right. Let's move on. Let's move on because I don't think we're going to even get anywhere with who did what and when. Let me say thank you. We had a couple of super chats from Sean. Thank you, Sean, for the super chat. Oh, damn. Sorry, wrong button. Sean, thank you so much for the super chat. Sean says Toya, Quad, and Contessa and Heavenly are always in conflict with others. Okay. Thank you, Sean, for the super chat. Sean also says Jackie and Curtis both know pickings are slim over 55 plus. Stay together and work it out. Simone is not releasing a book. Storyline, stay off reality TV if you are sensitive and secretive. I mean, no lies told, Sean. No lies told. Thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you guys supporting. Guys, don't forget to like the video if you haven't already. We will be dropping the call-in link for Team Kempire and Royal Court members first on the community tab shortly. We're talking about Married to Medicine's latest episode, Back to Blue Ridge. We'll get to that in a second. Speaking of Jackie. So Jackie and Simone decide this Blue Ridge trip after hanging out together. All right. This was a non-scene for me. But okay, we're talking about all of these other people's issues. You know, Heavenly has been saying for a while now, ever since the falling out between Simone and Dr. Jackie, both Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone, that their friendship is not the same. But they're sort of brushing over this for the show. Yeah, let's not talk about everybody else's issues. Let's talk about you and Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie's issues. Because their friendship apparently is not the same. Which is sad to me. Especially after watching these old seasons of how close they were. Damn. So this is when they decide, you know, the group is having issues. We need to plan a trip. All right, move on. Let's talk to this other fake storyline. Miss Gomez is back. Okay, hold on. Let me switch. Let me switch. So, Miss Gomez, is it true that this is a fake storyline that Anila got you wrapped up in for the bull?
Lies! The lie!
Miss Gomez, tell us the truth. I didn't see a pinto bean in sight, and the luggage that Miss Gomez came in with, I was like, because don't we remember that Miss Gomez? Let me go back. Didn't Miss Gomez go back to be with her grandkids? I thought that's why she left. It wasn't because there was some issue that she had to go take care of. The way they made it seem, Miss Gomez was leaving for good. Miss Gomez was ready to retire. It's screaming storyline. It's screaming storyline, Anila. I get it. It is what it is. But I don't feel like this storyline worked out in your favor because a lot of people have been very critical of Anila not being able to take care of her own kids. Here's the thing, and I've said this before. If you can afford to have a nanny, have a nanny. But God forbid that nanny calls out sick one day. Can you take care of your kids? It just seemed like she couldn't. She could barely bake pizza. As a single man who just made dinner for himself. Thank you. Thank you. Some stewed chicken. You can't make pizza, frozen pizza, because that was frozen pizza. She didn't make that from scratch. The poor little boy still waiting on those pinto beans. Not a pinto bean in sight. Poor Miss Gomez. And a lot of you have been saying, like, all the things that you were offering Miss Gomez to come back, you should have been giving to her already, like her own room. So where was she sleeping? Anila, Karen, or make hot chocolate. Thank you, Elsa Singleton. Hot chocolate sounds good right now. Don't get me started with the food talk, y'all. Y'all know it's about to be dinner time, and I can smell the food. Okay? It's screaming storyline. It's screaming fake. But I told you, if Miss Gomez comes back, it was a storyline. It was fake. It was a lie. Are we done with Anila? I like Dr. Karen, but Dr. Karen in this episode, when she brings up the fact that the group is talking about this whole robbery being a scam, he had the nerve to say, I forgot exactly his exact words. He was like, certain things are off limits. And look, we loved the little U-Haul costume joke, but we all know that was, first of all, the fact that you participated in it was one thing. But their issues of selling their house and all this other stuff, making a joke about that, it was shady. It wasn't just a joke, and you were involved in it. So I just found it interesting that he was like, the fact that they're involving him. You involved yourself with the whole U-Haul situation too, Dr. Karen. You involved yourself when it comes to all the fast situation, the whole women's situation. I just found it to be a little hypocritical, even though I thought the U-Haul costume situation was funny. I did. All right. Glenda, thank you so much for the super chat. Glenda says, is it just me or did Martin and Audra roll up in matching champion jockey suits to poke at Toya? Yes, and I'm glad you brought it up because it's in my notes. When they go to Blue Ridge, Audra and Dr. Martin show up in champion on purpose. And yes, it was a very awkward greeting. They didn't get a greeting from Toya and Eugene. I mean, they almost fought. Not almost, they did fight. But okay, we're gonna jump around a little bit. Did you guys notice though? Apparently Toya likes to mush people in their face. She even did to Dr. Simone when they weren't even fighting. So maybe it's just Toya's way of greeting people. Toya, you're gonna catch the wrong person. You're gonna catch the wrong person. Did anyone notice that she did that with Dr. Simone? Just saying. Nightbot, thank you for the reminder, guys. Don't forget, our fall and Halloween merch is now available at houseofkempire.com. Go check it out before we take it down, basically. It's only going to be for the fall and Halloween season, so be sure to check that out at houseofkempire.com. TikTok, you can find a link in my bio on TikTok, or you can find links in the description of this video. All right? All right. So we already talked about Miss Gomez returning. All right. Contessa's fitness competition. I'm just going to briefly talk about this because at the top of this, we really went in on this whole competition. She looked great. I'm not going to take this away from her. I know it had to be, even if this was for a storyline, Dr. Contessa had to really eat all that mess, take those supplements, work out. She looked great. But it's screaming not just storyline, it's screaming that we're trying to completely avoid the storyline of my husband being horrendous to me and that we're not in love and that we're on the brink of divorce. That's what I got from that whole situation. But the other part of what I got from the situation, she looked great. She looked great. The tanning of the whole situation, like her body was it. She did the damn thing. Can we move on? I don't want to even talk about it anymore because she looks great. All right, she looks great. Excuse me. Excuse me. DV, thank you so much for the super chat. DV says, Kieran and Anila accusing Eugene and Toya wasn't off limits, shaking my head. Exactly. Lauren, thank you for the super chat. Lauren says, when did you see this sweet spirit coming, Dr. Simone? She's mean and petty for a while, especially since her breakdown with Dr. Jackie. Well, I haven't gotten to that season yet. Calm down, Lauren. Look, I haven't gotten to that season yet. No, Dr. Simone has had some very insane moments, but generally she's always trying to bring the group together. Okay. But yeah, she's had her moments too over the years. Miss Bernice, thank you so much for the super chat. Miss Bernice says, be nice to the Future Hair Club for Men spokesmodel. Which one? Look, which one? Thank you, Miss Bernice, for the super chat. We appreciate you as always. Guys, if you haven't already, we have over 1,200 people here for our Married to Medicine recap. Let's get to 600 likes. Liking the video is an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels that talk about reality TV, that talk about pop culture, and also be sure to check out some of the stories that you may have missed already today, including a Kim Kardashian story, this Kanye West situation. And be sure to follow me on all my socials like Twitter, TheKempire on Twitter, and on TikTok at TheKempire as well. Megan says, I'm confused. Wasn't it Quad who really implied it? Did I miss a confessional where Anila said Toya did it? Well, no, you're right. It really has been Quad. It really has been Quad, and Quad is basing this off of what Carrie told her. But they haven't really talked about Carrie. Sidebar, shout out. Did you guys notice the 3 months ago clip, never before seen clip that they played with Dr. Heavenly splashing Carrie? And then Carrie splashing her back? The things that we don't, they leave out. You most remember at Quad's house, there was the whole scene with Carmitha bopping Anila on the head and Anila falling out. I guess they want a certain type of show, so they're editing certain things out. They don't want too much physical situations with these ladies. But damn. And, Dr. Heavenly loves to scream, I'm board certified. So she doesn't want that, she doesn't want to lose her certification. Okay. So we had Dr. Contessa's fitness competition. She won an award. Yay. All right. The trainer was there, and the trainer was also adding some information. He's like, oh, Scott was so proud of you. He was, talking about you. And then Scott comes back there and we have the, okay, whatever. Let's move on. Here's the thing. This would have been a cute moment if we didn't just have the season before where their relationship just was like, what is happening? So the fitness competition fixed everything? Okay. All right. So we do get to see clips of Audra, the new friend of the show, who I think should be a permanent cast member because she is married to medicine. And I like her energy. I like her. To me, she's funny. I know some of you think she was trying to get a moment a couple of episodes ago, but I like her. And she's supposedly going to pop very soon in regards to having her baby. We find out this episode that she's pregnant. And I like her husband. And I like her interaction with her husband. They're funny. I think they have great potential on this show. Why didn't we get more footage from their wedding? Their wedding, 3-day wedding, looked fabulous. All right. So speaking of them, so they arrive at Blue Ridge in their matching champion outfits because you may recall Toya was talking about her fashion. So they came in matching champion outfits. Okay. But it's very awkward, okay? But before we even get to that, Jackie and Dr. Simone have a conversation with Toya, and they point out everyone's at odds, but we've never seen it this way because now you're at odds with Quad, you're at odds with Anila, you're at odds with Audra, and you're at odds with Heavenly. So they want this trip to be a trip of healing. Okay. All right. Heavenly and Toya do have a conversation, but Heavenly is very good for, all right, I'm sorry, and then do it again. She'll do it again. Okay. But Toya is a little hypocritical because you may recall when they were talking about Heavenly's mom the previous week, she was just like, I ain't never lost a mom, so I don't know. But this week, she's like, well, you have every right to be emotional. You lost your mom. I was just like, well, you weren't saying that last week. You weren't saying that last week. But Heavenly's very apologetic. And she's like, I've been crying a lot. And I don't like to cry. But they settle their differences. Okay. But you may recall Daddy Damon, Daddy Damon, Dr. Daddy, because she was like, what am I going to do? If someone comes at me and you're not there. And he says, don't talk. I love that he said that. He was like, don't talk. Don't talk. Don't say too much. All right. Audra and her husband, Martin, they do their pregnancy tests during this Blue Ridge trip, which I thought was weird. Maybe it was just the timing of everything, but it was just sort of like, wouldn't you want to do that before you got on this trip with these ladies? But maybe it was just the timing of everything, and that was the only time. They were celibate for the month of December. But then I thought to myself, that's interesting. Has anyone ever done that before they got married? They decided maybe like a month before they're going to be celibate? Does it make a difference? Like, part of me thinks in my head, like, if I'm going to do that, let me do it for like 6 months, not a month. And then as soon as they get married, she's pregnant. Damn. And she already has a kid. She already has a kid that's not with Martin. She had the kid before she was with Martin. All right. So we find out that Audra's pregnant. I like Audra. I don't care what anyone says. My show, I can like who I want. You can like who you want as well. All right? So, and I want her to come back. I definitely want her to come back. And according to Dr. Heavenly, there is a season 10. They've been renewed for a season 10. Congratulations. They deserve it. I like Married to Medicine still. 9 seasons later, to me, it's still such a great show. And I like the addition of Audra and Dr. Martin. How are you guys feeling about Quad? Like, I like Quad. Like, I'm like hit or miss with Quad. I don't know. But all that plays in my mind, you're not even married to medicine. Why are you here? I mean, it is kind of awkward. Look, she's there. She's by herself. But she got activated this episode. All right. Look, all right. So Anila arrives, and just when you think things are heating up, and we were watching this last night on TikTok, things was just starting to heat up because Anila arrives, and Anila, it's very awkward because the whole situation with Anila and Toya. They end this episode with Anila asking the group, does anyone think that this was a setup? And Toya responds, I don't know what you would do. I don't know you.
Lies! The lie!
Toya loves to say that she doesn't know someone. You know this woman. She's your neighbor. She's your neighbor. Oh, I don't know. Like, to me, these accusations on both sides are just so detrimental to both people involved. Because I really don't believe Toya had anything to do with the robbery. But I do still find it interesting that she allegedly told Carrie, oh, there's a hit out. A hit? And I don't even think like a murder, but like... Sidebar. I know we've talked about this before. So Toya moved from her $3 million home to another home that she's renting while she builds another home. And look, there's nothing wrong with renting. Sometimes it makes sense. I'm just trying to understand, does it make sense? Because especially when Audra goes through the calculations and says, you really did not make $1 million off of the sale of your home. So does it make sense for tax purposes, because rent, let's be honest, that money you're not benefiting from paying rent. So, and especially because you don't know how long, especially in COVID times, how long it's going to take for your house to be built. So you're just paying all of that money in rent when you could have just been paying your mortgage and you get the tax benefits of paying a mortgage.
Lies, the lie.
In the same neighborhood, thank you. I could understand if you were about to move, but the house was, it's going to be a couple of months and you just sold your house and you know what I mean? And there's this period of time that you need some place to live. But you sold the house, you didn't make the money that you swear that you made, for you to spend that same amount of money to rent, same amount I'm assuming, or more, to rent a big house in the same neighborhood. It's just not making sense to me. But look, at the end of the day, your money, but you put it on the show, so we're going to talk about it. Oh, thank you, J-Spot. J-Spot says, and that 20% down payment, what about capital gains? I know we've talked about this before, but I had the thought when they talk about her, I forgot that she was still in the same neighborhood renting that place while she builds her new home. And she also claimed that she was being harassed in the neighborhood, but you're still living in the neighborhood? I'm just confused. I'm confused. Anyone else confused? I'm very confused. I'm confused by it all. I'm confused by the whole Anila situation and the robbery 2 times, and she got the ring cams and the chimes going off. That would annoy the hell out of me. That would annoy the hell out of me. Those chimes, like, I hate the chimes now. And luckily, it doesn't do it because I don't have those cameras like on every part of my home. I also don't have $1 million home yet. And when I do, trust and believe it won't be Ring. Unless they're sponsoring now. Oh, this is a mess. Let me drop the call-in link for our Royal Court members. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me just drop the call-in link for our Royal Court members. All right. Hold on. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but also other channels. We have over 1,300 people here for our Married to Medicine recap replay crew. We haven't forgotten about you. How would you rate this episode from 1 to 10? Where are you watching from? What do you think about the whole Anila burglary situation? Do you think it was insurance fraud? Do you think that Toya had something to do with it? I don't think either one. Honestly, and I hate the fact that they're throwing these accusations out there like that. On either side. All right. If you're a Royal Court member, I'm dropping the call-in link for you first. Hold on. Let me just do this, y'all. Because y'all know it's only me in the studio. Let me just do this. Okay. So if Royal Court members, I've posted the link. If you are a Team Kempire member, I'm going to post the link for you in just a couple of minutes. Hold on. All right. TikTok, keep tapping your screens. Thank you all for being here behind the scenes. How many? We got over 100 and something people watching on TikTok. Hey, TikTok, we appreciate you all being here. Don't forget to follow. We do this all the time. Okay. Daisy said, whatever happened to ADT? They're still around, ADT. I don't know if they go by the same name, but I believe ADT is still around. I mean, that's not the first place that I would go either. Like I said to you before, my favorite right now is Nest. Just saying. Here's why I like Nest. Higher quality video. Well, now, Ring has the same quality now. But when I first got my Nest, Ring didn't have that option. And it can rely on the power of actual, an electrical outlet versus a battery. And then Ring came out with the whole solar thing. Oh, not reliable. Oh, see, Cherie says, I got my ADT. How does it work for you? They used to be like the go-to. But there's so many options now, like Ring. I wonder if Ring, if that's a sponsored situation for Anila. I don't know. I just felt like all those chimes going off. Ann says ADT is still around. ADT is still around. Okay. That's good to know. Oh, see, Johnny says I have ADT and I still look over my shoulder. You know what, Johnny? Johnny says that she's got ADT and she still looks over her shoulder at night in your home? Damn. Okay. Okay, Natalie says I have Brinks. I'm going to pair it with Ring. Oh, you can do that? Look at y'all fancy. A lot of people have Brinks. I think Brinks reached out to me at one point. I gotta go look at my emails. I like my Nest though. And the reason why I like Nest is because it can work with my Google Schmoogle stuff. Just saying. They're not sponsored. Don't get me, SEC. Saying. All right. Okay, Team Kempire members, I'm dropping the call-in link for you as well. We already have a couple people backstage that want to weigh in and talk about Married to Medicine. I've been doing a rewatch. Some of you started doing a rewatch of Married to Medicine or a first-time watch or a marathon watch of Married to Medicine. Let me know your thoughts on the season so far. Hold on. Okay, let's get to some callers, but let me switch this around. Hold on. All right. And wait, let me see this. So almost 900 of you voted in our YouTube poll rating this episode, and 58% of you rated this episode of Married to Medicine between 7 and 10. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. Oh, Diego says all of those cameras inside of her house realize the alarm company can see that too. Then there's that. Oh, God. Look, oh, God. All right. If you're in the live chat and you want to call in, we will post the call in link once we get to 600 likes. If we don't, it's okay. My dinner's ready. Okay? My dinner's ready. If you would like to become a member of the channel, head on over to teamkempire.com/join. Or if you're watching from your computer, just click the join button under the video. All right. So let's get to some of these callers. And don't forget, guys, we will be live tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Eastern for our Tuesday takeover, where we talk about 90 Day Fiancé. We talk about some reality TV news. We talk about some pop culture news. So stay tuned for that tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 a.m. PST. All right? All right. Let's get to some callers, and then I'm getting out of here because the brother's hungry. All right? Let me just put this on... There we go. All right. Let's get to, and callers, short and shady, because there's a line of people backstage. All right. All right. Mo Reality, I'm going to bring you up first. What's going on, Mo Reality?
Hey, what's up, Kempire? Can you hear me okay?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Oh my gosh, I've missed you. I keep falling asleep and then oversleep in the lives.
Life of a new mom.
Yes. Oh, you know what? Zane turned 4 months.
Congratulations.
Thank you. He turned 4 months on the 26th. That was my son's Mason's birthday, and he didn't make it past 3 months. So it was a really, really special day for us. But okay, I'll get right into it. So Anila's fake. I don't believe it. I didn't believe it. The moment.
What don't you believe?
I don't believe any of it. The storyline. I said Miss Gomez is around the corner in the Comfort Inn. Okay, she waiting for her turn to come back.
In a Comfort Inn.
She chilling. I don't believe. I didn't know how to feel about the robbery, but I'm just like when she was talking to Qua, it just didn't feel. It just don't quite feel. It felt like something is off. I'll just say that the moment in the cabin where she tried to act scared with the curtains being, she doing too much. So I'm not really rocking with that. Audra, I don't know how to feel about her. But only thing I want to really say about them is that the pregnancy, either that was produced and she been pregnant, or she just got pregnant and they found out, but the timeline with the celibacy ain't working out. Because if she just got pregnant, they have not been celibate. 3 days ago was the wedding when they was at the cat. It just don't add up to me. Somebody lying.
But why would they lie?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, if they just, I don't know. I have no idea. It sound good. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe it sound good to her parents. I don't really know why they would lie. But I said that doesn't, that the timeline don't add up to me.
Okay.
And then the Toya thing, I was always very, I do like Toya, but I was always very confused about the whole moving. But it's hilarious because I know they live in the same neighborhood. And I was talking about that with my friend, and I'm like, we did that when we were younger. We lived in a house, we moved, we were so excited to leave. Like, yes, we're going to a new house. And it was next door. It was literally the house next to our house. It wasn't even like you
Was it
could
a better
reach
house,
and be in
though?
that house. What'd you say?
Was it a better house?
A little bit, because the house we were in had roaches. You know what I'm saying? And so we moved to the house next door, next door, like the roaches couldn't follow. You know, it was weird. I'm telling too much of my business. Okay.
I mean, look, it is what it is. All right, Mo Reality, thank you so much for calling in.
All right, bye, y'all.
Look, I grew up. Look, it is what it is. Mo Reality, we appreciate your transparency. All right, let me get to the other callers. Guys, if you're just joining us, don't forget to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. We have over 1,400 people here for our recap of Married to Medicine. Don't forget, next week, we will start recapping The Real Housewives of Potomac. And, of course, back to Married to Medicine at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. All right, Brink Security, but I think this is Kari. Hold on. Kari?
Hi, I can secure your home.
You know what? What's going on?
Anyway, I missed y'all so much. So I want to start off with just a general read for the cast. From y'all head down to y'all feet, y'all nasty for sitting there acting like Toya is the problem. If Audra big and grown behind can't handle being talked about, people talking about her outfits, then she better stay off Twitter because she gonna want to dox everybody. And then I wanted to say, Heavenly, you got a lot of smoke for Toya and her so-called laziness, but you haven't spoken on how trash of a mother Anila is, consistently complaining about the children she brought into the world. It's giving you really don't like Toya because she has a man she doesn't have to be subservient to. She doesn't have to like dim her light to be treated well and taken care of. Toya and Mariah always got under your skin because they didn't have to be somebody else for love. You are not naturally a submissive woman, but you were taught that's how you keep a man. Now you have to walk around your house all day with your tail tucked and you taking it out on every woman that's similar to you and didn't have to change anything. I want you to get off YouTube because you spent a lot of your lives talking about Toya. I mean, hours upon hours simply talking about that woman, and get into therapy so you can truly leave that box you grew up in. Grown woman that never grew. Anila, at this point, you playing in our faces. You either sent that lady away to have a storyline or y'all harassed and berated her so much that she just came back so y'all could leave her alone. Either way, I'm sick of hearing you complain about more than a single mother on welfare with Written Do. Your kids are not that dang annoying. You're just too evil to be around the purity kids have. You felt integrated by Contessa because she was peeling back them layers of them lies. I'm not going to break down the insurance fraud of it all because even your neighbors failing to catch 2 robberies, nor why you pay for cameras just to turn them off, don't make sense. I'm just going to say, it's evil for you to take the petty stuff you and Toya got going on to this level. If you want to scam your insurance company, leave Toya out of it. I know you're not smart enough to come up with this on your own, but you big enough to not let Quad stick her hand up your behind and lead you down the path of debauchery. At this point, I'm lobbying for an Instagram model to slide in Kira's DMs so you can focus on your household just a little bit more. Last and leastly, Quad, you ain't like Anila accusing Lisa of stealing her $400 last year. But here you go, writing soap opera plot lines with Toya as the main villain. Others may look at Toya as the common denominator, but I see you playing Geppetto with the mindless puppets masquerading as professional women. You don't like rumors being spread around about you, but you keep saying things that can ruin people's whole reputations with no evidence. Focus on who's saying you are an on-call girl for married man instead of trying to ruin another black woman's names. I want to say it's because of Toya having Mariah's back, but in actuality, you really are just a terrible person in my opinion, because the rumor about Toya cheating should have been enough for you to be satisfied, but you truly trying to destroy this woman. It's exhausting, and you truly brought a dark light to this show. You are not married to medicine, my love, and you are not classy. It's time for you to go. And that's it.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Kari.
No problem.
All right. All right. Let's get to some more callers, guys, just because it's dinner time and I'm ready to go. Short and shady callers. Short and shady. All right. All right. Catherine, I'm going to bring you up next. What's going on, Catherine?
Oh, girl, Kari has feelings. So we going to focus on Anila. Anelia, girl, I have the ring. I don't have $1 million home. I don't have all them chimes ringing around my very basic mortgage having home. You can turn that John off. You're doing it to be extra, and it's just not necessary. It's bothersome. Like having her have her chime ringing during her segment made me mute my own television. It was triggering, and it hurt my ears. Also, Miss Gomez, that storyline, Carlos King wouldn't even be behind. He wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. It was like it just was extra. And whatever Anelia paid you for, it wasn't worth it. Just for an extra room in her house, you don't even want to be there. You can mail that boy his pinto beans. And Toya's attitude, she's had an attitude problem since before last season when she blamed it on the panorama. Like, at this point, she needs to seek the Lord for whatever issue she's having with her husband, his ill-sized wiener, and whatever other issue she's having.
Okay.
That's it, hun.
All right. Thank
Go
you,
and
Catherine,
eat
for
your
calling
dinner.
in. All right. All right. All right, Dewan, I'm going to bring you up for a short and shady comment. What's going on, Dewan?
Hey, what's up, Kempire? How you doing?
Not bad. How are you?
I'm well. I'll be quick. I want the purveyors of pop to be summoned immediately. How could they cut out the best scene? That Heavenly and Kari. What the hell were they thinking? Like, I'm like, this has been a trend though with these shows lately. I'm like, do they not want us to be entertained? Do they not want our viewership? Because that would have had me tweeting and talking up a storm. But I agree with you though. In general, I do want Audra to be added as a main cast member. One, she's married to medicine. Two, I think it's time we have that young, vibe in there. It is good. She's literally 5 years older than me, which I find so fascinating. And it brings just a different perspective to the show. I'm afraid this might be Contessa's last year, even though they typically don't. Well, I mean, the only person we've seen really leave has been Buffy and Mariah. So it would be interesting to see somebody who's been here for a while to leave, but I don't see her storyline given that much. And we've really even drifted away from the whole Contessa, YouTube, and her Heavenly type thing. So
No.
that's kind of even fell to the wayside. I'm curious to see what else is brought up. I've loved the season so far. And thank you very much. Be safe.
Thank you, Dewan. Hold on. Semahar says that wasn't a cut scene. That was a scene from 2 seasons ago. No, it was a cut scene. If you look at the that scene between Heavenly and Carrie, that was only like three months ago. I think the thing said, and that was from that party. Unless the scene was wrong that they labeled it. No, but that was from the top of the season. That party. That was when Dr. Heavenly brought Audra around. All right. Anyways. All right. Miss Bernice, we're going to bring up next. Hold on. What's going on, Miss Bernice?
Hey, Kempire, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm fine. Okay, let me get my thoughts together. Last season when Natoya had a time to think about the passing of Heavenly's mother, because when they were at Jackie's house and Toya said, well, that's not what Heavenly told me. And then Heavenly blew up and exited the house, made a scene. Everybody was running after Heavenly. Now, she said that because Toya's about to let out the bag. Well, Heavenly talking about you, and she told me such and such. And this week, Heavenly apologized And Heavenly do what she usually do. She'll apologize, and then a couple of weeks will go by, she'll do the same thing again, then come back and apologize. Okay. Whoa. And Anila, and when she said she was 42, I thought she's acting a whole lot younger than 42. You're 42 years old. And it's not that you can't take care of your kids. You refuse to take care of your kids.
Mm.
It's a difference. Okay? You play stupid, so your husband will feel sorry for you and get the nanny back. I'm like Mariah Carey. I'm not going to keep a nanny long enough for my kids to get attached to that nanny because I'm still mama.
Mm.
Anila wants the nanny to be attached to the kids, so she ain't got to be mama. There's a difference.
Uh-oh. All right.
And what else?
That's okay, Miss
Jackie and
Bernice. We got to move
Jackie
on.
and Robert are just roommates. They're gonna be together forever.
Dr. Jackie and not Cecil and Curtis.
Yeah, Curtis. They're gonna be together forever because it's cheaper to keep them. That's it.
Oh, damn. All right, Miss Bernice.
Okay.
Thank you so
Go
much for
eat.
calling in. Thank you. Take care.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. All right. Calm the F down. Thank you so much for the super chat. She says you should come to London during the Notting Hill Carnival next year, summertime. What is the Notting Hill Carnival? I need to Google schmoogle that. Note to self. I don't know why that came up, but I love it. Look, I love it. Thank you so much for that. Rennie, thank you so much for the super chat. Rennie says she did not play. Damn, she came for everyone, basically. Ikari? Yeah. Always. Look, always. Thank you so much for the super chat, guys. And don't forget, you can also support the channel by liking the video, sharing the video, and subscribing. And be sure to check out some of the other things that you may have missed. And don't forget, for the month of October, we are also raising money for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Be sure to check out the video. If you're a part of the replay crew, it should be on this side. Or that side? I don't remember. But be sure to check out some of our recent videos. You can see the link so you can donate. We're trying to reach over $2,500 to raise for Black Women's Imperative. So be sure to check that out if you haven't already. Also, happy Black History Month to those that celebrate in the United Kingdom. October is Black History Month in the UK. So shout out, speaking of Notting Hill, shout out to all of you celebrating Black history over there. All right, let me get to the rest of these callers because it's dinner time and I'm hungry. All right. Miss Beverly, I'm going to bring you up next for a short and shady comment. What's going on, Miss Beverly?
Hey, Kempire, how are you? And
I'm
I'm
well.
going to be short so you can go and eat.
Thank you.
Here's the thing about quad. It's okay to carry a bone, but when you carry that bone, carry it like it was said. Don't do any and because nobody said anything about insurance. Eugene probably cooks. That's probably his stress reliever. Anila probably got sponsorship for ring because it's kind of strange that she's always showing the ring. Quad is trying to get back at Toya for what she said about her condo. Kirian was upset that the women would say that they might have orchestrated the break-in, but they had no problem insinuating that Toya might have had anything to do with it. Heavily whispering that apology to Toya was not sincere because she said on her show several times that Toya had said, F your mama dying. I don't care anything about your mama. And someone had said that to me. There's no apology. You can't say anything to me anymore in life. That was to stop Toya from actually coming out and telling Quad what was said by Heavenly. And that's all I have for you today.
Thank you.
Short and sweet.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Take care, Miss Beverly.
You too now. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. We're going to take these last couple of callers. Hungry. No, it's all right. Guys, don't forget to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but also other channels that talk about Married to Medicine, reality TV, pop culture news, all of the things. We are live on TheKempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. We're live on Twitch and Twitter. And we're live behind the scenes on TikTok. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for tapping your screens. We're also, of course, live here on YouTube. All right. Let me bring up Dustin. Dustin, what's your short and shady comment?
Hey, well, what's going on, Kempire? It's been a long time no see.
I know. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Would you recommend Peacock?
The streaming app? I would. And you know why, Dustin? And this is not planned, y'all. He's really asking me this question. Bravo's not paying us. But I would recommend Peacock, especially if you're trying to get into, like right now, I'm watching the old seasons of Married to Medicine on Peacock, but they don't just have Bravo shows. It's an NBC app. So there's a bunch of content that you wouldn't even think that they would have on Peacock. So I actually do enjoy it.
Cause I've been thinking about getting Peacock, but I don't know what tier to get. I don't know if I get the ad tier or the no ad tier.
Well, to be honest with you,
Thinking
I have
about
the no ad tier and I prefer it.
I'm thinking about getting the no ad tier,
I
but I
prefer it
didn't know.
personally.
But can you watch like the seasons that you didn't watch before, like the past seasons? Because
Yes.
I'm way behind on these shows here.
Yes, and that's how I'm watching Married to Medicine's old seasons on Peacock. No commercials. You can watch. Oh yes, and Angelique says Below Deck. There's so much stuff on there. So much stuff. Like I said, they're not paying me, but I actually do like the app, and I've had the no ad tier, honestly.
And you also get the early episodes, or you still get the early episodes on the new ones, don't you? They drop them on there.
Yes, the next day, like Married to Medicine's episode wasn't available the next morning on the Peacock app. Is that it, Dustin? Because I gotta go.
Do what?
Is that it? Because I gotta go.
Oh yeah, that's it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in, Dustin. All right. Last but definitely not least. Oh wait, hold on. Let me just make sure I get this comment. Satcher says Peacock is free, or you can get the premium from $1.99 with a few ads. Thank you, Satcher, for that. Oh yeah, the baseline is free, but if you want ad free, I think it's like $9.99 or something like that. But right now they're running a special for $1.99. And that's a special price right now, $1.99. Kathy says I love Peacock. See, all right. Last but not least, I'm gonna bring up Danielle. Anyone else that calls in, I'm not taking your call because I'm getting out of here. All right. Okay. What's going on, Danielle?
Hi, happy hour. Hey, y'all.
Oh, so I let you go because you sound a little too happy.
No, we're supposed to be happy. It's happy hour. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna say. I agree with everything Ms. Beverly said and Ms. Bernice, because that's all I caught. I got to be part of the replay crew. But I forgot to say this yesterday with the Huntsville, but it still falls into Mary's Medicine. Do y'all remember when Contessa went away to do that education thing and she went away to school and she was in Alabama? That might be how she knows the Huntsville class.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
That's what I meant to say yesterday.
Okay.
But thanks for the $1.99 Peacock. I'm gonna go add that. I had Peacock because if you have Comcast, you have Peacock. Boom, or Xfinity rather, whatever it is. You got Peacock for free. But if like an upgrade with no ad, well, I think I got ads. Anyway, go eat. It's happy hour. Love you guys. Bye.
She sounds a little too happy. She sounds a little too happy. She might be having a couple of cocktails. Okay. Anyways, guys, here's my final thoughts on Married to Medicine. I'm still enjoying the season so far, season 9. I don't know what's going on with Dr. Simone in that book. But right now they're in Blue Ridge. The last scene literally is Anila getting activated and saying, who here thinks that this whole situation was a setup? This burglary was a setup. But is it the same burglars that went to her house? Because she got burglarized twice. What, the ring cam was on then? Did it catch it then? Like that's interesting. But also let's not forget that we've been talking about how the streets in Atlanta have been hot. And I know it's not just Atlanta. She doesn't live in Atlanta. However, the streets have been hot down there in Georgia when it comes to these home invasions. A mess. But apparently we're going to be able to talk a little bit more next week because all the battle between Anila and Toya is going to be full on display because according to Toya, I don't know what you would do. I don't know you. She always doing the Mariah Carey of it all with these folks. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. We appreciate it. Hold on. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat before I go. Oh, hold on. Here's a soup. Oh, no. Nurse Petty, thank you for being a member of the channel for 4 months. She says, did you see Dr. Heavenly and Quad shading each other on the live, and the next day they together visiting Audra like they didn't go for each other's necks? That's their relationship. Their relationship is forever like that. That's how they are. Yes, and I did a whole conversation about Dr. Heavenly's live on Friday. So be sure to check out that video if you missed it. All right? Anyways, thank you all for being here. Have a great rest of your Monday. I will see you tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Eastern for our Tuesday takeover, where we're going to cover some reality TV news, and pop culture news. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Have a great rest of your evening. Go eat something good. I'm about to myself. I still got to finish dinner, though. I still got some things to make to go along with the chicken. Just saying. Anyways, be well. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
I know you feel it in the nighttime, and you've given all your days while they were waiting on the right time. You went and made your wave. I don't need reasons to live. There's no reason to quit, it's all I know. So once again, I'm gone with the summer. Yeah. Gone with the summer. Once again, I'm gone with the summer. They be trying to count us out, we highly endowed. They must not know what's at stake, what we fighting about. This tradition to a wordsmith and missile shooter. I'm my automatic sniper, I bet this'll do ya. I give reason and ether to all the line soldiers. I'm undefeated, my region remains on my shoulders. I've cried nights, that's only because of highlights. I find life in knowing I'm playing mine right. Wicked crimes from them wanna be crowned. Try to lead me to the deep where I might cunningly drown. At times I thought they got me where they wanted me now. But like the sun, I rise up when I don't wanna be down, and that's real. I know you feel it in the nighttime, and you've given all your days while they were waiting on the right time. You went and made your wave. I don't need reasons to live. There's no reason to quit, it's all I know. So once again, I'm gone with the summer. Yeah. Gone with the summer. They ain't never been eye to eye with Satan in the broad daylight. Gone left while they all sway right. A true maverick, unbothered by what y'all made right. A naysayer slayer, I'm filleting all daylight. Yeah, we in that upside down, I manage not to sink. They keep our eyes wide shut, I manage not to blink. Another decade or maybe they not faking. Maybe it's more to it, maybe we got taken advantage of. Either way, the damage is done. The bottom feeders get to eat all them glamorous crumbs. Where all them seekers of truth, the speakers of the youth. We come and go with the summers, keep believing in you. I know you feel it in the nighttime, and you've given all your days while they were waiting on the right time. You went and made your wave. I don't need reasons to live. There's no reason to quit, it's all I know. So once again, I'm gone with the summer. Yeah. Gone with the summer. Yeah, yeah. Once again, I'm gone with the summer.